I think we can all agree that Instagram marketing is the most important aspect of running OnlyFans management. If you don't know how to pull views, pull subscribers, and gain traction on Instagram, you're really not doing your job as a manager. And so it can get exhausting and repetitive when you're getting 200 views, 300 views over and over again and never really growing from that point. So in this video, I have a full breakdown, and I'm going to be breaking down how I've managed to get out of 200 view jail, as they call it, as an Instagram marketer, and show you every single step that I've taken. And listen, I'm not saying that I've never been stuck in the loop of pulling 200 views over and over again, but after learning how to get out, it's a lot easier than you actually think. So that's exactly what I'm doing for you in this video, how we took one creator from 7K a month, and this is net profit, so this is what actually came into the agency in 30 days, March 1st from March 31st, and then scaling to over $140,000 per month in about 5 months, August 1st to August 31st. Again, net profits at $140,000 per month. And this creator is primarily focused on Instagram. We have minimal X marketing, but there is no Reddit, no TikTok, no Threads. It is strictly Instagram and X, but Instagram is the powerhouse for pulling in 90% of this income. So like I said, we did this in about 5 months. So let's get straight into the exact breakdown. So the question we're all wondering is, how do we go from this pulling 100 views, 300 views, very low repetitive feeling view numbers, over 8 videos, you only contracted 1,761 views. And really, that's a waste of time for not only you, it's a waste of time for your model. And to be honest, if you have a model who does have great potential, but you as the agency owner aren't pulling results, you can lose out on great opportunities to make money. So in these same 8 exact videos, how do we go from this to this? 77K, 48K, 500,000 views, 655K. Over 1.4 million views in 8 videos. Same amount of videos, same amount of effort, just a different attack approach. So that's exactly what we are going to be covering in this video. In fact, the same strategy that we use for one of our creators to generate $333,000 in 100 days. You can see right here in the statistics from July 1st to October 1st, a couple days before this recording when I put the screenshot up here, $333,000 gross and 266 of net. So let's get straight into this. I'm going to be breaking down, like I said, all of this into 5 simple steps for you to follow. Step 1, content. You must fix your base before growth. If you do not have your base structure, because in Instagram, it works in layers. You have your video, you have your surface, you have your strategy, and you have all of the tracking behind, which we're going to get into that all later in this video. But the most common issues I see with content is generic content. If you're still posting thirst traps, dancing, and Snapchat verticals that have low quality, trust me, you're not going to grow with Instagram. Instagram is one of those platforms that you have to throw the dart at the wall and see if anything comes back at you. And when it does, act on that. And so if you have a model who doesn't already have 100K, 200K followers, which I'm expecting since you're watching this video, you don't, trust me, generic content is only going to keep you in that loop. Make changes, and trust me, you're going to do a lot better. We're going to be getting into what specifically later. Also, matching this is matching niche. So let's say your creator is a BBW niche. Posting styles like dancing, talking head, etc. is not going to work for you. You wouldn't post about stocks if you were trying to promote real estate, would you? It's the simple act of making sure that your creator aligns with her content. And also for that, having a shared ideology with your creator so she knows the exact niche, message, type of content that she wants to be doing. That's going to create a way more efficient system inside of your content. So make sure you share that with all of your creators. Some examples of matching niche is if you have a G&D or girl next door niche, just the typical, honestly, probably one of the most common ones in OFM. You want to be looking at skits, captions, gym, and lifestyle types of content. You wouldn't be doing any sort of cosplay or Omegle or anything like that. On the contrary, if you have an e-girl, you do want to be doing that. Omegle, gaming skits, talking head, etc. You get the point. If you have a girl who is one specific style of niche, captivate on that. Look at the competitors that look like her, have the same sort of resources. If you're posting blind and just running whatever you see online, trust me, it's not going to work. You have to be a little bit meticulous about what types of content you're choosing and how you're going to post. The third part of content is guesswork. If you are posting and praying, you will not grow. Like I said earlier, Instagram is a meticulous platform that you kind of have to pay attention to. You must really get into the details to see the difference. What I mean by that, the core growth, I broke this down in many videos before, they kind of look like this. everything that's in the video itself. So facial expressions, backgrounds, energy, the genuine look of that creator, camera and lighting, those all affect your performance. To emphasize my point here, I had a creator one time who she was posting videos in her bedroom and she had a weird angle. It didn't feel right. It kind of felt a messy background. Not that the video itself was wrong. She looked good. The energy was there. The facial expressions were there, but the background itself wasn't really working. Or at least that's what I thought to begin with. So what I did was I asked her what the most luxurious sort of style background she had in her house, which ended up being her bathroom mirror and this weird angle of a high angle on her bathroom. Although a lot of guys would just see the background, be like, oh, okay, I need to switch the content or switch the style or make more entertaining videos. I looked at the core of it and I said, hey, try shooting those bathroom pictures, those bathroom videos for 2 weeks. Let's just stick to that for 2 weeks straight and post the same style, same niche, same everything, but just in a different location and different lighting. The result of that, she performed immediately. It wasn't like she got 100K views on her next video, but I think after the third video, she was pulling consistently 3K, 2K, 1K. She was pulling more views. It wasn't something that you needed to switch the niche or get rid of the model. It was just the core aspect of the content. In that, make sure you perfect your content before moving on to anything else. And you may be asking, Griffin, if I'm switching the content constantly, if I'm constantly looking for changes, how do I know what's going to work, what's not going to work, and anything in between? The simple answer to that is trying. You have to post to see the results. Let me give you a little bit of a visual example. If we posted 6 videos and the results came out like this, you did 3 skits and 3 talking head style videos, and the views came back like this, what would you think we would want to continue posting? That's right. If you have any sort of brain, I'm sure you said skits. So what I would do is I would continue with the next batch for all the skits, and I would begin A/B testing different styles of skits. Which ones pull the most views? Are they comedy skits? Are they caption skits? Are they with somebody else? You need to be figuring out what works the best and what your algorithm wants to see your model in. So that's content. Make sure that you have your base structures figured out. Make sure you pay close attention to the actual video itself. Not every time is it going to be your niche or your model or any other weird contributing factor on why you're not performing. Sometimes it's simply the content itself. So moving on. This is step 2, page. Keep it simple, stupid. Listen, a lot of you guys try and make your pages seem hugely professional, hugely just honestly clean, and like kudos to you for wanting to make that change and wanting to have the quality inside of the content, which isn't bad. I'm not saying that either. What I'm saying is if you want this girl to be going into the GFE experience in the chat side of things, make sure that your page is set up nice. And even if you're not running GFE, these still can help you. I like to break down the page into 3 simple pillars. Really easy. The first part of that is your surface. What does your page look like when someone first clicks on it? And I've broken that on my own profile. Obviously, I'm not an OF model, but some notes for you to keep. 1, your profile picture should be high quality and show off the best features. You need to captivate on whatever her best feature is and also keep it in a high quality. The highlights, do whatever with these. It really doesn't matter if you want to do cat, Q&A, OF, whatever it is, just have them. Makes the page seem more real. The bio, don't distract from the link. Simple. It's the only rule that I have with the bio. Don't have a million things in there and then just put your link at the bottom in a link tree and call it a day. You need to be able to, 1, if you do have a busy bio, and so if the model does, let's say, podcasting and sports or whatever it is, add some sort of small CTA at the bottom just by saying maybe more of me with a winky face and a pointing down emoji. Lastly is your first 3-pin post. That should be your ad for your OF. So what I like to do is I like to make the first one, the one on the left here, which is everyone gravitates that when they first see any sort of Instagram page. That should be your best picture possible. And those following 2, those can show personality or more good features. Now, the second part of this is scrollability. This has to do with your reels. When somebody goes through your page, is it entertaining enough to scroll? 3 things on this, really, really simple. 1, make sure you have a variety of content inside of your page. 2, it's actually entertaining. It isn't just thirst traps, generic. This goes back to the content itself. And 3rd is quality. Simple enough said. Lastly on this is realness. Does it feel like an agency created this page, or is there personality inside of this? Keep it professional and clean, like I mentioned earlier, but you can do that with integrating personality. Allow your models to produce content day one as well. A absolute cheat code for you boys is if you have an issue with posting generic content, ask your models this. If you had 1 million followers and it was your account and you can do whatever you want with it, and no matter what you posted, you knew it would perform, what would you post? And this goes back to shared ideology with that model. This allows them to be unique, a USP, a unique selling point. If you're copying competitors to the T, you're not going to perform that well, especially with whales and big spenders on the OF. Have a little bit of personality mixed into that page. So from there, moving on to point 3, which is Jumpstart. Why would you not want to grow quicker and easier? Makes no sense to me. A lot of you guys hear organic and think that I never run ads or think that I've never done any sort of paid promotion. If you're not taking advantage of promo, you will not grow as fast. It's simple. And I know promo can be scary, investing in the wrong things, but I hope to fix that for you here. To grow new accounts out of 200 view jail, this is what I do. Step 1 is find promo accounts in your model's niche. That's very important. Remember the in your model's niche. That's one of the biggest factors when it comes to promo. If you're promoting a girl next door from a cosplay account, your conversion rates are just going to be lower, and the fans that are coming over from that aren't going to be as converting. The types of promo that you can do this with is model to model, promotional accounts, and main account to new. What that last one is if you're struggling to grow a second account for a model who already has a large account, just do bouncing off. Just post stories, post posts, and promote that second account to get more fans and interactions over to that. But be careful, don't make that second account exactly all of your audience from your first account. Promo it 4 to 5 times max and then leave it at that. And also be careful with this second one, promotional accounts. If you're promoting from Babes123 and has 2 million followers and they pull 20k views, that's a terrible promotional account. I talked on promotion in my last video, I believe. You can go watch that if you're looking for more information on promo accounts, which ones, and how to look for them as well. Step 2 of this is prepare your account for the promo. Private the account if it's new, create your creative, and plan ahead. A lot of guys don't plan ahead. When they do promos, they will kind of just stick with what they have. They'll stick with the same account, same style of reels. They won't really change or be ready to promote and post after. The things you need to be doing is have your follow-up reels planned, your link in your bio working, of course, that's a no-brainer. Your OF, maybe run a special discount while you run the promotion if you're doing heavy promotions, so $500 to $1,000, and anything other than that to make that promo captivate more. You obviously want the highest ROI on this investment, so why not plan ahead? Second part of this is DMing all the accounts and deciding on the promo. So you found it, you've planned ahead on what you're going to post, your creative, everything like that. It's time to DM these accounts and see what kind of costs versus results, following, views, everything like that, which one you're going to decide on. Step 3, run the promo on the account. Simple as that. Don't overthink it. I get guys, even in my consulting, they went through these steps. They even watched my promo video that I go way more in depth into how to find them, how to promote, everything like that. And they're still scared to run the promotion. Just do it. It's money. It'll come back to you. You're running a business. If it doesn't perform that well, it's okay. Try again the next time. Use a better promo account, see what went wrong, and act off that. If you're constantly looking for a 100% success rate, you're leaving yourself no room to grow. The only times you will ever grow or learn is when you fail, so don't be scared to fail, boys. The result of that, you're gonna get more views, more followers, a bigger base audience to grow off of. This will help your following videos perform better, kind of what I was bouncing back to on the follow-up reels. And there's a ton of ways to run promo. Like I was mentioning, find what works for you and stick to it. Spending $500 for consistent and high views, that's an ROI that I'm willing to stick with. And what I mean by that is we ran a promo for one of our models that we launched her OF account in June, and we spent over $1,000, barely really converted on the OF. That was primarily because we didn't have the link in there. We were just promoting her account in general. But that same page now pulls 20k views, 30k views over and over again because of that initial base following. It is worth it in my eyes, even if it doesn't immediately convert back into subs. Moving on, step 4, tracking. Simple enough said, you cannot fix what you can't see. I had a guy in my consulting and he asked me whether or not he should keep running the promo account that he was running off of, and also whether or not he should keep running the niche. And I asked him, I said, hey, like off of the other niches that you've tried and the other promo accounts that you've tried, what is like the kind of conversion rate difference? And he was like, I don't really know. I want to see whether I can make something better or whether or not this is performing to where it should be. And I said, the only way you can do that is by tracking. It's simple enough said, you have to track your metrics. That's like if you were an Olympic sprinter and you weren't timing your runs and you just based off whatever you thought was going to work or whatever you thought was working. It makes no sense to do it at that level when money isn't involved. Why not do it when money is involved? So what do I track? Outfits, angles, content style, captions, engagement, etc., 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 aka everything. Simple enough said. And no, I don't mean you need a spreadsheet, you need a whole Airtable set up for every single one of these things. We'll get into that in a second, but make sure you're at least keeping an eye on these. How to track. It's very simple. You have Notion, Airtable, Instagram analytics, and your own eyes. What I mean by this last one is, I'm sure these three kind of make the most sense to you. So you may be saying, what can I track with my eyes? I had one of my guys, and it was actually that same model that I was mentioning earlier with the luxurious bathroom background. And she was posting a lot of reels. They were fine. But I noticed that whenever she posted with this Brazil top and Brazil bottom, it got a little bit more views. It was not huge, but it was probably a 700 to 1,000 more views. Listen, the algorithm is the general population. Why do you think I wear semi-decent clothes, a watch, bracelets, high quality background? I do that because I need to establish who I am and what I do. And so for models, the cuter, skimpy, newer, expensive clothes are going to perform better just because whether it's a girl watching or a guy watching, they make those clothes for both aspects. So don't get caught up on the clothes aspect of this. Just know that you can kind of tell once you're inside of marketing and you're looking at these creators' accounts. You can kind of tell, and make sure to keep an eye out is the main thing for those little KPIs that you really wouldn't notice in general. Moving on. Step 5, collabs. Easier to do than you think, I promise it. Collabs are something that you can't really mention, so let's just talk about it for a second. With collabs, a lot of you guys think that your model needs to be in the US, has to be in Florida, Miami to do these collabs. So many guys do. And my honest answer to that is people, one, they'll take flights. You'll be surprised. I was surprised getting into this industry how many models would take flights just for Instagram reels, whether or not they were doing OF content together, Instagram reels, posting on their accounts, things like that. And the second part of that is collabs don't always have to be IRL. You can do collabs if you're an e-girl. You can do collabs if you are FaceTiming. There's a bunch of ways that you can angle collabs, but just make sure once your model hits 50, 75, 100K on Instagram, you do have the ability to run collabs with models. And if you're in other countries, Dubai, Germany, France, anything really, you can find creators who are also in your same area or the model's area. DM them, see if they're down for a collab, paid or not, whatever it is, and run it. Honestly, these have been one of the most beneficial things for my agency as far as a couple of the creators inside, but they're easier than you think. Just make sure you're implementing them. So that has been pretty much my 2 cents on how to get out of 200 view jail. If you have any questions, please DM me, but I want to make sure that you guys understand this is dependent on you. This isn't a trick. I run organic marketing with a little bit of gray hat here and there, but primarily organic. It has to be the content, it has to be the model, and it has to be what you do and don't do as far as tracking, changing, adding, removing, whatever it is. Make sure that you're always looking for improvements and you're not sticking in the same loop as everybody else and wondering what's not working. Let's go back to what Einstein said. If you're doing the same process, the same steps, the same actions over and over again and expecting a different result, what is that? I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard the saying, but if you haven't, it's the definition of insanity. And I don't mean to call you insane, you're not crazy. I get it. It can feel exhausting and it can feel like your only option is to keep posting more and more and more and the same. Track your stuff, see what works, see what doesn't, and make your move from there. Also, boys, if you're serious about growing an OF agency, if you're already making 5 to 10K per month, you have 1 to 2 models, and you're wanting to scale it up, I'm talking about 20, 50, maybe even 100K if you're that dedicated, you can apply to my consulting link in the description. These seats are about to fill out. It is limited. I work one-on-one with all of the guys. So if this is something that you want to know more about, you can click the link in the description. It'll take you to an old video of mine where you can walk and go through the process of applying. Also, boys, if you're a beginner and you're not making 10K per month already, or maybe you haven't even started your Instagram marketing, join the free Telegram community. I have over 1,500 members inside. That'll be linked in the description as well, entirely free, and we host weekly calls every single Friday at 5 p.m., which it is Friday, October 10th of this recording, so I do have a call here in about 4 hours there. But other than that, boys, as always, it's been Griffin, and peace out.